Hello siblings, welcome to the video. My name is Scout the Pages and today we're going to be talking about the 2024 releases for January through July that I am excited about.
One day I feel alright. The next I'm looking for the light, for the light, for the light.
We're going to go in order here and talk about all of the books that caught my eye while doing some research for each month of 2024 leading up to July that I think will be interesting, that I'm interested in. I'm going to keep my eye on these books. Some of these books I'm going to immediately pick up, and some of these books I'm just going to watch reviews for to see if maybe I am interested. This is of course not an all-extensive list. I definitely have missed some. I didn't do tons of research. This is just what I have come across in my looking through Goodreads and Instagram and all of that. So let me know down below if there are any books that I missed for January through July. On January 1st, we have a book releasing called Anzu and the Realm of Darkness. This is a middle grade fantasy graphic novel that is compared to Spirited Away and the Five Worlds graphic novel series, which I did read and really enjoyed. This sounds cozy, it sounds fun, and I'm interested. We'll see how it goes. I will request it from the library likely because graphic novels are expensive. On January 18th, we have Feybound. This is a sapphic adult fantasy that seems to be a little bit on the romantic-y side, and in a review I saw sword fighting that immediately is followed by a kiss between women, and I love a good romance that starts with a sword fight and ends with a kiss, you know? I'm into it, okay? I love a sapphic book, especially a sapphic fantasy, so I will definitely be keeping my eye on this one. On the 23rd of January, we have a little bit of a sci-fi situation here with Womb City. This is an adult sci-fi about motherhood. It's a dystopian about inequity. I believe there are like wombs that are created out of technology for us to grow children in. It sounds fascinating and also a little heavy. I think the motherhood topic of this one could be a little too intense, so I'm going to have to wait until this releases to look at the reviews to see if the content warnings are a little too much for me at this phase in my life as a mother myself. On the same day, we have another book releasing, Into the Sunken City. This is a YA sci-fi with pirates, and it is described as, I quote, a magnetic second chance romance and a thrilling heist. I love a good pirates. I love a good sci-fi. So let's see how it goes. I think pirates and sci-fi sound like a great combination to me. On the 30th of January, we have The City of Stardust by Georgia Summers. It's giving Starless Sea vibes. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the cover. Maybe it's the description. It seems like it has lyrical writing. I'll have to watch this one for reviews because it sounds like it has potential, but it's not an automatic yes for me, so we'll just wait and see on this one. I have a feeling it's gonna be kind of a hot book next year. Moving on to February. All of the books for February were released on the 27th for me. The first one being Lore of the Wilds, which is a young adult librarian romantasy. So we'll see. Again, just gonna keep my eye on this one because this is not a genre that I auto buy into. Next we have two books in a series by Martha Wells, which is The Book of El Rian, I believe is how you say that, or Al Rian. This is the author of the Murderbot Diaries and The Witch King. Haven't read The Witch King yet, but I have read the Murderbot Diaries and really enjoyed it. This is a bind up of the first two books in an adult fantasy series that Martha Wells wrote that I have not read yet, but because they're gonna release these bind-ups that are really beautiful, maybe I will finally pick it up. Next we have a book called Red Sight. This is a queer space opera with disability representation, a sapphic romance, space pirates once again, a blind witch, and a powerful priestess. So say no more. Say no more. That's all I need to know. I'm probably gonna pick this up unless I see really bad reviews for it. Moving into March, we have two books on the 19th. We have The Floating Hotel by Grace Curtis. This is a cozy debut science fiction novel that tells a story of misfits, rebels, found family, and a mystery that spans the stars. I read that and I said, sign me up. I don't know, like, let's do it. Cozy, sci-fi, is always a win for me. And then we have The Mars House by Natasha Pulley. This is a queer sci-fi novel about an Earth refugee and a xenophobic Mars politician who fake marry to save their reputations and their planet. I love a good queer sci-fi. I love a good marriage of convenience, political marriage sort of thing. It sounds great. They have opposite views. I find that interesting. We'll see. It's kind of giving Winter's Orbit, so we'll keep our eye on that one. On the 26th, we have The Cemeterians, the complete series by Daniel Cross. This is X-Files meets Wake the Bones in the complete series. An eerie, genre-blending story filled with horror, magic, mystery, fantasy, darkness, and bones that grow everywhere that they shouldn't. This is the release of a complete edition of a bunch of graphic novels that already exist, but I had never heard of it, so I'm very excited to see. I will try to check this out from the library. Since it's a collection of graphic novels, it's probably pretty hefty and pretty pricey as well. In April, we have 2 books. First, on the 9th, which is Ghost Station. This is a sci-fi horror thriller, which is not generally something that I go for, but for some reason, I am interested in it. It doesn't make sense. Just something about it is calling to me, and when that happens, I answer. I will wait for more reviews for content warnings post-release though. And then on the 23rd, we have The Dead Cat Tale Assassins. This looks so interesting. It's a POC novel with gods, assassins, and guilds. Very intrigued by this. I will probably just end up picking this up from the library and not look at the reviews because it seems like it's gonna be a win. We have quite a few books in May, so let's start with the 7th. This is Blood at the Root by Ladarian Williams. This is a YA fantasy with a magical school akin to Legendborn. There's covens, family sagas, magic, and it's POC. I have not read Legendborn quite yet, but that's because the content warnings are not for me, so hopefully this one doesn't have those content warnings. On the 14th, we have a book that I'm very excited for, which is The Honey Witch. This is a sapphic romance between a witch cursed to never find love and a woman who doesn't believe in magic. I know, and it's got a small island setting. You know, I'm into it. That's just taken off all the boxes for me. We're gonna read it. On the 14th as well, we have another book, The Last Re-Witch by Jenna Lee Yoon. This is a middle grade paranormal fantasy. We'll see how this goes. I'm kind of skeptical because I'm not super into the paranormal. On the 21st, we have Lost Ark Dreaming by Sui Davies Okunboa, which is high-octane sci-fi dystopian novella about climate change. This is a Nigerian author that I believe I own another book on my shelf by this author that I need to pick up at some point, but this is a novella, so maybe I'll start here. On the 28th, we have Evocation by S.T. Gibson. This is the author of Dowry of Blood, which I did not read because of the content warnings, but I will wait for reviews post-publication for this book because it has a bisexual throuple and the representation is amazing. So we're gonna see. I'll check out the content warnings before. If it doesn't seem like it's gonna be a problem, I'm very, very interested in this. On June 11th, we have The Stardust Grail, which is an anti-colonial space heist to save an alien civilization. Sounds fun. It seems adult sci-fi. We'll see. On the 25th, we have Foul Days, which is about witches. It's a fast-paced fantasy rooted in Slavic folklore. I love a good alternative folklore to the typical American and European, so we're gonna check that out. And then July, we have the book that I am the most excited about for next year that I actually considered pre-ordering, even though I don't pre-order like ever really. That is July 9th, The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. This is a cozy adult fantasy. This is the author of The Bone Maker, which I adored. I adored that book so much that I literally read the last page and then immediately flipped back to the first one and read it again, back to back, just like all in one go, just in a few days, finished that book out. I thought it was excellent. I don't know what it was about it. I wouldn't say it's objectively a 5-star for everyone, but what I will say is it was an objective 5-star for me and subjectively a book that I just really connected with. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the older characters, that phase of life that they were in. Maybe it's the writing style, the necromancy mixed with the nostalgia and the hope. I don't know. The villain is not very good in this book, but for some reason I really enjoyed everything else about it to the point that I don't care what the villain does. So I'm very excited for this cozy adult fantasy by the same author because I think she can do cozy super well. If she can make necromancy cozy, she can make cozy cozy. Anyway, those are all the books from January to July that I am interested in for 2024. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below in the comments what books you're excited about that are being published in 2024 and if I should keep my eye on them. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next one. Stay safe and stay kind, siblings.
Baby, can you see the snow? Whatever you want, boy, I need to know if I'm on your mind.